Hey guys, welcome back. Standard 10, the last part of the disease and disorders. So right after this, you'll have your test. Make sure you go back and do all of your previous pass-offs if you need to. Again, you're always going to get your highest score to make sure you get the best score on the test. All right. Um, First, we're going to start with influenza. I'm just going to caveat this. I'm not going to go into a detailed coronavirus spiel right now. There's going to be an extra credit module that'll be popping up here in a couple weeks when I have it done. And so that'll be a way if you just you want to do something on the coronavirus, but you need some extra credit as well, it'll be all combined into this nice little module for you. So keep an eye out for that. That should help you with any problems or issues you're having with your grade right now, especially if you don't do quite as well on this test as you wanted to. All right, moving on. So influenza, basically, you need to know that it's known as the flu. That's its common name. It is not the cold. There are differences between those two, and that it is caused by viruses. So the flu is always caused by a virus, and medications are used to treat the symptoms, not the actual virus. And that antibiotics cannot help because it's a virus. So you have to make sure you just know it's a virus, and that'll get you through almost everything you need to know. Some important differences between cold and flu, just kind of an FYI, is that a cold normally deals with not just your respiratory system, but also digestive system stuff. So you get vomiting in there, loss of appetite. Okay, flu is normally just respiratory, but then it affects your total body. So you get muscle pain, chills, fatigue, and a really high temperature. So if you're throwing up, you probably don't have the flu. It's probably a cold. And if you have a fever of over 100 degrees for a long time, you probably have the flu and it's not the cold. So just a FYI about the differences between those two. Um, Pneumonia. So I put pneumonia right after this because colds and flus can cause pneumonia. Pneumonia itself it's caused by normally this bacterium, but it can be caused by a lot of other pathogens. And it's the number one killer of from infectious diseases in the US. And the problem is because any infections in your respiratory tract, any of them that we've talked about at this point, can cause your air sacs, your alveoli will fill up with fluid and all the debris from this battle you're having with that infection. And basically it fills up. And so instead of having your external respiration happening from air to blood, which is very, very good diffusion, you build up all of these layers and make it harder for that oxygen to diffuse through into your bloodstream. And so you get these really low levels of oxygen, and eventually that can lead to death. Again, pneumonia isn't caused by one specific thing. Pneumonia is characterized by having your alveoli fill up with water for the most part. Um, and again, those infections your body is fighting off can be caused by viruses, bacteria. There's that streptococcus. Remember, strep, as in strep throat, is one of the main things we look out for. Because if you have strep throat, that's up in your upper respiratory tract. If it goes down into your lower respiratory tract, now you're more likely to have pneumonia and have to go to the hospital. And so that's why we really look out for strep throat. Not only does strep throat is a bummer on its own, but it can also lead to pneumonia. It can also be caused by fungi. So again, remember, any of those pathogens can cause pneumonia. That's going to be a really important thing to remember about pneumonia. Pneumonia is about your air sacs filling up with water, not about what's causing them. Okay, even though strep is the most common. Hopefully I was redundant enough about that. This pass off is just going to take you a couple seconds. Just make sure you knock that out, and I'll see you in a second with the next video.